I suppose music for me, what it means to me, is I used to like to think that it was a method of catharsis for me, dealing with the insanity that we all have, and I suppose none of us like to really admit to what degree we have. I was particularly drawn to hip-hop because of my childhood, and that's what I listened to musically, but I've never been actually a very big fan of at least mainstream rap, and most rap in general. The older I get, the more I hate it. But being a classically trained poet, I suppose, I'm an English major here at Wake Forest, there was one day where I just decided that if you had a message to get across to an audience, and you had some command over the English language, there was no reason not to rap, because you can say the most in a very elegant way.
Absurdity lurking like the lurching feeling prior to dry heaving, cringing cold air, palm on facial hair, follicles and elbow to the desk. Internet articles, early morning chronicles, surely dishonorable, concretely preferable, reportedly especially since no lovely lady awoke next to me. Questionable, sex for the first, the next song, ethical, pitiful, albeit admissible. Where is the artist's sensibility in shaving daily, betwixt cravings for a reason to groan soon in the room of one's own? If I'm lucky, would you trust me to share a moan, a face this painting of home? Manhattan, Philadelphia, paranoia grips aesthetics of a watch, watching cogs turning cognizant of dead empty leather in your back pocket. Fuck it, debit on my dad's account, college graduate recently. I've been resenting my parents' penance paid off with their mortgage before our current marriage shortage candid. One nation under God, and God damned it with gaudily gilded girls and damaged goods, boys with baggy pants and measurement fetishes. Reverence the crevices as the Paris perishes amidst the mass removal of blemishes and copulate relishing. No time to cross myself, crossing Fifth Ave in search of my next fifth and cigarette drag. Classy.
Dialects aside, and poor pronunciation and bad grammar, if you put all those aside, saying a poem very quickly over an instrumental is actually, you end up rapping. And so for me, that was sort of my draw to rap, and now I spend a lot of time saying lofty philosophical things and talking about life in general, creating large extended metaphors out of very small situations that may or may not have happened to me, mixing up relationships I've had with other people to form more interesting stories, and talking about those as opposed to women and drugs and lots of money and Rick Ross and Rolls Royces. So that's sort of why I go to rap, because I feel like if I have something to say to you, then if I can say it eloquently in 3 minutes by rapping it, then I can get the most across to you, and I have the biggest, I suppose, chance of convincing someone. So that's why I was drawn to rap. Overall, music for me is like I said, I used to think it was a catharsis, but someone I used to be very close to once told me that I was addicted to it, and I'm pretty sure that she's right. Hardly is there a day that goes by that I don't write something, and if I'm not writing music, I generally tend to get pretty angsty, rather fidgety, obnoxious.